Welcome to Left Undone, Incomplete Investigations. I'm Catherine. Tonight, we're going to continue the Lori Vallow case. Lori Vallow, mother of three, who won't tell anyone where her two children are. She's sitting in a jail in Rexburg, Idaho, while her new husband, Chad Daybell, walks around. But tonight, I want to talk about the witness list. There's quite a few people that could possibly be called as witnesses, and we have the list. So please like, subscribe, ring the bell, comment, and share. I'm Catherine. Welcome to an episode of Left Undone, Incomplete Investigations. Let's get Let's get started on the witness list. The first person on the list are police officers. I'm not going to go into all the police officers. We know there's police officers from Hawaii, Rexburg, and Arizona. Melanie Gibb. If you've been following this channel or this story deeply enough, you'll know that Melanie Gibb is one of Lori's friends. Melanie Gibb is not just Lori's friend. She did a podcast with her, Warrior Up, with Jason Mao and Melanie Gibb. And of course, Lori. Take a quick listen.
All right, it is November 26, 2018. We are our very first podcast. My name is Jason Mao, and to my left is...
I'm Melanie Gibb.
Melanie is awesome, for those of you that don't know who she is. She has some amazing abilities, amazing gifts. She is what we in the business call a gatherer. And people are naturally attracted to her because of just the light that beams out of her. The first time I saw her, I knew instantly that she was a gatherer. And she's become basically the point person here in the Southwest area for like-minded people to start focusing on greater light of knowledge and learning a lot about themselves and about the Lord and what it is that He wants from us. And so I am honored to have her to my left.
Thank you.
So Melanie Gibb, we know not only that she did the podcast with Lori, but we do know that Chad and Lori, when the police came to Lori's door in Rexburg, Idaho, asking about the kids after Kay and Larry Woodcock requested a welfare check, both Lori and Chad asked for Melanie Gibb to lie. They asked her to tell them that she had JJ and Tylee. Melanie Gibb decided not to lie. Melanie Gibb is also the source for the zombie letter. If you don't know about the zombie email, you need to go back to episode 11 on here or 12, can't remember. But one of them has the entire zombie email. Now, like I said before, the zombie email isn't necessarily an email. It was emailed to me, but it is someone's notes that they took after speaking with Melanie Gibb, where she talks about everything Lori told her, that the kids aren't alive, the kids will never be found, that Tylee's a zombie, Alex is a zombie, Kay is a zombie. And we do know now that zombies don't necessarily mean like Walking Dead zombies. They mean evil spirits have taken over. And go way back before Charles was killed, she flat out told him that he was a zombie and that evil spirits have taken over him. And he's now Nick Schneider. So, Melanie Gibb is a big witness in this case. Big. Because she has come clean and she is cooperating with the police as far as we know. The next witness on the list is David Warwick. David Warwick is also part of the Preparing a People, part of the group of them. He also had a podcast. Now, all these podcasts have been scrubbed from Preparing a People. They're gone. I suppose they didn't want the federal, the FBI, us, the regular old people out here in the world, to go back and listen to these podcasts. for some reason. But David Warwick was also mentioned in the zombie email. David was like, oh, no. He booked it out of there. He said, this is not okay, to Melanie. Melanie's boyfriend at the time, not sure if they're still boyfriend and girlfriend or whatever. Melanie had gone through a divorce. Melanie was with David Warwick when all this stuff started happening. Next one. Lovely author, writer, father of 5, married to his wife for 30 years, Chad Daybell. He also could be called as a witness, and what I did learn is that he can testify against Lori. He can be made to. Idaho doesn't have that law where a spouse does not have to testify against their spouse. So that's good news for us. But will he tell the truth or will he lie? I don't know. He's been awful quiet, and he seems to tell his own children lies, as well as Christopher Parrott and anyone else related to him have either lied for him or believe his lies. Because he's not talking. He's not talking, and he's not telling us where these children are. And we know for a fact that Chad and Lori had something going on before Tammy ever died. If you remember, or if you've seen the video from the storage unit where Chad Pat's Lori's behind in the storage unit. We all originally thought that was Alex in the storage unit, but once Nate Eaton and East Idaho News did an enhanced video of them at the storage unit, it was way more clear that they were there on October 2nd, and it was Chad with Lori. Alex didn't come till October 3rd. And you can go back if you're not caught up, because there's some good stuff in there about the Jeep, about the tire, and the back seat. Because, as we know, we're pretty sure that Jeep was used to shoot at Brandon Bordeaux. After husband number 5, Chad Daybell, we'll move on. Julie Wilcox is allegedly a neighbor of Lori's in the Rexburg townhome, where JJ was last seen. I'm assuming it's this picture where JJ was at the door and they got him on the Ring camera. Not positive, but she is a witness, possible witness on the list, and is a resident in the townhouse. Next, Larry Woodcock. We all know who he is. Him and his wife Kay are on the list. They are the grandparents. They are the ones that have been the advocates for these kids. They are the ones that requested the initial welfare check. They are the ones that found all kinds of information of Lori going into Charles's Amazon account and buying herself a malachite wedding ring before Tammy was ever dead, a wedding dress, beach shorts, all that stuff. Kay and Larry have a lot going in this investigation and as witnesses. They've had many, many interviews, and they are the most awesome people, because I can tell you that I don't know when anyone would have noticed these children missing if it wasn't for the Woodcocks. It would have been a while, because Lori pulled JJ out of school, said she's homeschooling. Tylee disappeared. As of September 8th, she was never seen again. This investigation didn't start looking into the children until the end of November, when Kay and Larry were tired of not being able to get a hold of their grandson, JJ. So they're big. They belong on this witness list. Next one, Adam Cox. Adam Cox is Lori's other brother. Alex Cox is dead. Alex Cox was up Lori's behind the whole time, helping Lori out with everything and anything, following her around the universe, shooting her ex-husband Joe Ryan with a stun gun before. He did time for that. And she has another brother, Adam Cox, who allegedly is not in support of Lori and Chad. Adam is going to be a witness as well if they call everybody from this list. He also has a son. His son name is Zach. Zach is on the witness list as well, and Zach has a Twitter account where he actually spoke. This is his Twitter. This is Adam Cox's son, Zach. And if you can see here, he is actually posted about this. I can't believe it's been 2 weeks. This was February 12th. Since the court has ordered my aunt to produce my cousins, and she still has yet to do so and continues living luxuriously in Hawaii without a care in the world. I am sick. They could be anywhere. So if you see them, please let me or the police know. And CBS, he posted that. Learned investigators found a cell phone belonging to one of 2 missing children. So Zach has been on this as far as speaking out a little bit. And he is one of the witnesses. Zach has been known to comment in the Facebook groups, and he was always an advocate of Charles. Charles was a great guy, that Charles could never win an argument with Lori. He would just walk away or be quiet because he couldn't win an argument with Lori. He said Charles was never violent, so Zach is definitely a good witness. Brandon Bordeaux nearly was killed by whoever shot at him from the back of the Jeep registered to Charles Vallow. According to witnesses and what's unfolded out there, Brandon says that the person that shot him from the Jeep was Alex Cox. Alex is dead.
Spent the last 11 years of my life spending time with Lori and her now deceased husband, Charles. I don't know what happened to those kids. I know that there's people who do and they're not talking.
Brandon Boudreau, who used to be married to Lori Vallow's niece, says he was part of the family. He baptized Lori's daughter, Tylee Ryan, and loved JJ, her adopted son, with autism.
I don't know why they're doing what they're doing. It doesn't.
Because after that, Tammy was almost shot at by someone behind her car. She thought it was a paintball gun. Coincidence? I don't think so. There is no coincidences, especially this many. So Brandon's wife is Melanie Pawlowski. They have children together, and his wife Melanie went off the deep end and followed Aunt Lori to Idaho and ditched her kids. Her and Alex Cox packed up her house, booked it out of there, moved to Idaho. They all moved to the same apartment complex, Lori, Alex, and Melanie. So Brandon Bordeaux is definitely an important witness here. He has his children. Melanie has tried to break in and try to get her kids, and those kids need to be protected because we do not know where Melanie's mind is at. So Brandon Bordeaux, an important witness. Now, Melanie Bordeaux, who I'm just talking about, is also on the witness list. She is now married to Ian Pawlowski. Melanie has said things to Ian that were in Ian's notes that Brandon turned over that were extremely curious, bizarre, and scary. They talked about the portals. They talked about the zombies. They talked about the multiple probations. They talked about all this stuff that was in the original zombie letter, and it was known to be true from what Ian was saying. Ian backtracked, but he was known to wear a wire from the FBI and recorded some of Lori and Chad's conversations with him. Ian and Melanie will be on Dateline this weekend. They're being interviewed. This Friday night, I believe, they have a lot of information. I don't know if Melanie will ever come clean, but they have a lot of information. Melanie is also accused in Ian's notes that 2 of the officers investigating this case are zombies as well. So Melanie's current husband is the next one. Ian, just went over him. The next one is Leah and Seth Bernard. They are neighbors that live right there in the Rexburg townhouse, and JJ played with their kids. There's an interview that I'm going to show you now from Seth about the kids and when Lori and Chad took off after the police came a knocking. So they are important witnesses because they know when the last time they saw the kids, and they know when Lori and Chad took off. They saw them packing up, get booking.
In Rexburg. Both places have been a huge focus for Idaho police and FBI. First, it was the townhome. Neighbors say the FBI raided Lori's townhome as well as her brother's townhome in the same complex the day before Thanksgiving. You could see marks where neighbors say the FBI broke down the door.
It's crazy, just baffling.
Seth Bernard, who lives next door to Lori, says she told him she was going to college. He hadn't seen Lori's children, Joshua, JJ Vallow, and Tylee Ryan, in some time. His sons often played with JJ.
We were told that he was going to move with his grandmother, go visit.
But police have said that isn't true. Both JJ and Tylee haven't been seen since September.
The question is where they go. We have no idea. So they just kind of took up and vanished.
JJ's toys, Seth says, are still sitting on Lori's porch, and the townhome's filled with her belongings. The day before the FBI showed up, Seth says he saw Lori and her brother packing up a truck.
Next morning, boom, they're gone.
Authorities say Lori disappeared with her new husband, Chad Daybell, and won't cooperate or tell them where JJ and Tylee are. As they started to focus on Chad, it led them to his Salem home, where his wife Tammy died in October. On Friday, authorities spent the entire day going through this home looking for clues in Tammy's death. The Fremont County Sheriff's Office is calling her death suspicious. Rexburg PD and the FBI joined the search. For now, they aren't getting a lot of answers.
Typically, the family has not spoken with us, referenced this case at all.
The couple's adult children declined to speak with us as well. The Sheriff's Office hopes to get results from Tammy's autopsy and finding results from the search warrants in the next few weeks. Seth hopes they can at least find the kids, as law enforcement pieces together everything on their own.
We knew these kids, they were playing with my kids, and all of a sudden, poof, they're gone.
In Rexburg and Salem, Idaho, Lauren Steinbrecher, Fox 13 News, Utah.
Next one is Christopher Smith, and I find this interesting. We have some information on what he is. He is special agent in charge of the national parks. And here's a flow sheet to show where he is. And some information about what they do. They investigate crimes in the national park, and they say that most crimes that occur there do wind up prosecuted. This next one I think is a little interesting. Chris Fleisch. He is a law enforcement specialist for Grand Teton. That national park is right there with Yellowstone. We have Sydney Woodbury Schneck. She became a new employee at Madison Middle School in December of 2019. So everybody was already gone by then. Speculation is that she is the babysitter. She's the babysitter. Speculation is that Sydney was probably the babysitter. Even though she's employed, she was a new employee in December of 2019 on the list of new employees on this document. I can't tell you for sure, but there has been speculation that she was the babysitter, which makes sense because the babysitter did watch JJ and know Tylee was around, and she had a few things to say and quite a big statement that we just recently went over. Then a bunch of FBI agents are on the list. So we don't need to go over them, but they are on the list. There's a Mark Sarai. Mark Sarai is a Social Security investigator. What it looks like is Lori is probably under investigation for Social Security fraud. If she's not taking care of her children, they both have deceased parents, So you know those children are both getting Social Security benefits from Charles and Joseph Ryan. Probably a couple $1,000s a month at least. The survivor benefits. So Lori is obviously, most likely, under investigation for Social Security fraud. Then there's Jason Gwilliam. This is Tammy's brother-in-law, married to Tammy's sister. Chad told him that Lori Vallow was an empty nester and had no small children. Probably a big piece of information for this case. Then there's Colby Ryan, and we all know who Colby Ryan is. If you followed the story at all, Colby Ryan is Lori's oldest son, who has either been ditched by his mother, she won't tell him where his siblings are, and he has a young family. Lori was obviously helping him financially, and now Lori's in jail and won't give Colby any information either. And Lori has told Colby stories, according to Colby, along the way. She told him that Charles had a heart attack, and he showed up and found out that Uncle Alex shot. So Lori's a big fat liar. We've all established that. Even her own child. But does Colby know a little bit more? I don't know. Possibly he knew something, because it is kind of strange that she said, oh, I'm moving away, and he didn't know where, and he didn't question that. Little strange, but he is young, and he is definitely a victim in all this. His siblings are gone, and he's concerned about them, genuinely. I see genuine concern. That's my opinion. Jack and Sheila Daybell are Chad's mother and father. They probably have some information that was given to them about Lori and her family. I don't know. Probably pretty good witnesses, though. Then there's Teresa Christensen, JJ's second grade teacher at Madison School District. Then there's Joshua Wilson, Kennedy Heights principal, when Lori registered JJ at the Rexburg School, Kennedy School in Rexburg, when they moved there. He is on the witness list, the principal, because he knows that Lori came and pulled JJ out of school on the 24th. The last day JJ was seen was September 23rd. The next day, Lori came and said, I'm going to homeschool JJ. Then there's Randy Lords, school administrator at Madison School in Rexburg, Idaho. Then there's Julie Black. She's interesting because Chad and Lori contacted her about renting a property in Kauai, and they said they had no children. She is the owner of Kauai Dreams Realty, and she interacted with them when they tried to rent a property that she was renting out. They had told her that God sent them to her house. And then there's a couple pediatricians and doctors in Arizona. There's 2 pediatric specialists and an adolescent specialist. Dale Guthrie and Tim Jacks are pediatric specialists. So I am assuming that this is where JJ went for his care. Oxor. He is also a doctor in the same group, and he specializes in adolescents and pediatrics. Then there is Robert Minicola. He's a general manager at Kauai Beach Resort and Spa in Kauai. Then there's Shawn Derek. He is the owner of Blue Sky Property Management in Rexburg, Idaho. There's Greg Krause. Greg Krause is the landlord of the Princeville property on Emma Queens Way that Lori and Chad stayed in for most of the time that they were on Kauai. The condo was for sale at the time, so they had to leave sometimes in order for the realtors to come and show the property. And that was times when they went and stayed at either the Marriott or other places on the island. Then there's a woman named Tracy Singleton. She works for the Idaho Department of Health and Welfare. Assuming she has something to do with the CPS case. There's a woman by the name of Audrey Barataria. And Audrey Barataria is an employee at Deseret Books. This is a Mormon book, LDS book company, health and wellness and books. She is on the list of possible witnesses. And the very last person I have on this list is Reverend Colin Moore. And he is allegedly the officiant that married Chad and Lori on the island of Kauai with no children around. So that is the list of possible witnesses that has been released. Another thing that was released recently was about Lori's bankruptcy. When you look at the documents of Lori's bankruptcy, it was kind of a crazy thing. Lori was living very large. The house that she was living in when she filed bankruptcy was over 4,000 square feet in Texas on over 3 acres of land. Gorgeous, brand new construction. They were the first people to live there, and this house is sprawling. We have some pictures for you. Lori, remember, when her and Joe Ryan divorced, Lori filed bankruptcy. And just to put this out there, Lori's bankruptcy attorney wound up dead, an untimely death. I mean, how many untimely deaths can you have? I could give you 1. 2 would be way crazy, but maybe. But bankruptcy lawyer, Sister Stacy, Court TV, has a thing on Stacy. We've been talking about Stacy Cope forever on our channel, but the more mainstream media is just starting to get wind of the fact that Lori's sister Stacy died, and supposedly Alex was the only one there, but there's rumors that Lori was there, and Alex did start using her credit cards. These people are money hungry. And I believe they'll go to no end for money, especially Lori Vallow. And if Chad thinks he is safe with her, he's living on a fantasy land. Like, for real. If you compare the house that Lori had in Texas and got rid of that husband and got rid of the next one, and you look at the modest way that the Daybells lived, the house they lived in, the property they live in, Lori is a gold digger. This is way, way below Lori's standards. And the funny thing is, Chad was looking to put a mobile home, a manufactured home on this property. Now, here's what I said. Lori probably said, I'm not living in Tammy's house. When you bust me out of here, when you better find that money, you get me out of here, Chatty Daddy. You get me out of here, but I'm not living in Tammy's house. Okay, Lori, how about if I just go put another house on the property? Well, maybe I could do that. Maybe. It'd have to be a nice house. Well, Lori, how about I'll put a manufactured house up. They make them real nice now, you know. I don't know, Chad. You look into it. I don't care right now. I just want to get out of here. Why aren't you getting me the money? I want to bust out of here. This is ridiculous. I should not be in jail. My portal's broken. The portal is not working, Chad. Why haven't you been here within the portal? Okay, I'm being completely ridiculous right now. But you guys know, like this is the kind of stuff that goes through my head when I think of Lori and Chad, because the whole thing is absolutely insane. Insane. And I just hope we find those children. Where are the children? Hashtag, where are the children, Lori? Where are the children, Chad? Hashtag, where are the kids? Find the children. Find the children, and then let's figure out what happened. But right now, Lori Daybell needs to stay in jail. I will just be so upset if they let her out of jail. She doesn't belong out of jail. She's dangerous. She's a suicide risk. She's a flight risk. Her and Chatty Daddy should probably go their separate ways. I'm waiting for that day to happen. I think it will. How about you? Leave comments, subscribe, like, ring the bell, because we're following this case until there's nothing left to follow. So thank you so much for watching an episode of Left Undone, Incomplete Investigations. I'm Catherine. Please like, subscribe, ring the bell, and share, and comment. I do answer comments. Thank you all. Take care. Be safe. Stay well. Stay home.